Kia ora guys, Bird here. Welcome to episode 43 of Thaumcraft 5. We're starting here today over by the Tainted area because I have a cool little trick that I want to show you guys, but first of all, credit where credit is due for this trick. Thanks to YouTuber Bongotezz, I was actually able to bring what I'm showing here to you guys today. So yeah, he's the guy that came up with this, full disclosure. His video is linked in the video description. Highly recommend viewing it. It's a great video that shows you this trick that I'm about to show. So what exactly is it? Well, as you guys know, some of the rarest aspects in the game are Aurum and Wheatium. Aurum in the past I've gotten it by dredging the deserts around my base basically for cinder pearls. And Wheatium, well, good luck getting that stuff. You basically have to mine up these taint blocks, which, by the way, are spreading here. Looks like the surrounding chunks have gotten tainted enough to get spread again. But he discovered a cool little trick where you can put some leaves next to some wood that's here, and it'll make these blocks that are right here, which you can break with Silk Touch. And they make these things called Swollen Taint. Now, I actually want to get out of here because I forgot to put my armor back on. Yes, there we go, put that back on, and occasionally there are some downsides to this. You do get these little, I don't even know what these guys are called, Taint Mites? They kind of remind me of the End Mites. No, they're pretty easy to kill, but anyway, so you can mine these up pretty easy with Silk Touch. So as long as you've got Silk Touch on your pick, or whatever tool that you like, very easy to get. But there is that small downside of these fellows. Let's see, and normally I just shock these guys. Where's my shock focus? There we go. Help! There we go. So then basically once you're done harvesting these guys up, what you do is you take some acacia leaves, or whatever leaves that you like. I'd use acacia because the savanna's right there. Go ahead and plop them on down again. Let's see if I can demonstrate how quick this works, and then sometimes that happens. I was going to mine this whole thing out, but those little taint dudes have been messing me up. Do I have I thought I had some shears on me. Are there any in this chest here? Yeah, here we go. Get some shears out and get these guys back if you misplace them. And then you can see already a couple of them have turned back into these, what are they called? Swollen Taints. Now the thing about these Swollen Taints is really cool. You see when you shift over them, they've got 2 Wheatium, 1 Aurum, and then a 1 Bestia per. So Bestia is one of the most common aspects in this game. But yeah, that is a really fast way of obtaining vast amounts of Wheatium and Aurum, for those of you who haven't already. It's kind of broken, to be honest. That'll probably get patched in 5.3, and you do need to be careful for those guys. Even with all this fancy armor that we've got on, those guys still one-shot you, so you want to use your shock focus on those dudes. Anyway, that is the cool little farm here for getting a ridiculous amount of these very quickly, and you know, this is really just ad hoc setup here. I mean, you know, if you want to efficientize this, you know, you can make this entire area and probably have some sort of golemancy trickery going on in there. But yeah, that's what's going on there. I'm just going to go ahead and take these guys into the nether, and we'll be turning them into Essentia. Welcome back, folks. The Essentia has been burned down. I actually went and harvested up a bit more of those Swollen Taints, and now we have tons and tons of Wheatium here, almost 4 full jars. It looks like we've got a little bit of a graphical bug with the aspects right there. I've noticed that happen more recently. Anyway, we've got some Bestia and Desiderium and Aqua here as well. What on earth could we possibly be infusing today? The answer is our sword. But we already have a sword and it's already infused. Well, actually, we have some infusion enchantments that I'd like to add on to it. So it's got Arcing 4 there. I believe it starts with Arcing 2 as the vanilla thing, but you can get Arcing all the way up to 4 if I recall here. Yes, you can get that. Also, I'd like to put on here Collector as well, so that when you kill monsters, you also the loot kind of just floats towards your body and enters your inventory. And the other thing that I'd like to get here, which is kind of interesting, is Essence Harvester. This is the main reason that I got the Wheatium for today's episode. You need a heck of a lot of it to actually get a decent Essence Harvester level on there, and it looks like the warping kind of glitching up there. Yeah, so the recipe for this is a crystallized essence, an enchanted book of any kind, by the way, as well as a knowledge fragment, and of course the thing you're infusing. It's just a stone sword there for demonstrations. And the collector one is a knowledge fragment, a lead, which I've forgotten how to make, but I did have a spare. a book and a shovel or whatever you need with the weapon there as well. And that's what we've got the essentials for here. I believe we have everything, so let's go ahead and put on, I think, what should we start with? Probably Collector. Yes, we'll go Knowledge Fragment, Book, Lead. So let's get these in here. There we go. Knowledge Fragment ahoy. Book over there. I've just got a bunch of useless little books. And what was the final thing? It was the lead, wasn't it? Yes, so throw that in there. We should be good to go here. Bish bash bosh. Away it goes. Now, the reason that you need a ridiculous amount of Essentia, you may have forgotten from the book here, the more of the enchantments that you have on your sword, the more it's going to cost in Essentia in the altar here. So you need to actually have quite a significant amount extra. You can see there we use, what, like a quarter tank of Desiderium, and how much does it say that it costs in here? 16? Okay, well, turns out that that's about right. But yeah, so I've just got like ludicrous amounts of Wheatium here just in case. Should be a-okay there. Does not take very long to get the Wheatium now. So there we go. Now that picks up collected loot from the monsters. This will be interesting. Hey, Mr. Skeletronian. Yes, it floats towards me. It's definitely going to be very handy. Alright, so let's go ahead and get the Essence Harvester ability on there. Essence Harvester, I think this is going to be a fairly interesting one, guys. And I've got my crystallized essence. I needed to rummage around. Wow. I needed to rummage around in my inventory to actually track that stuff down. It was quite a while before I finally managed to find it, but I remembered having some, so we've got that. Alright, let's go ahead and get this infusion started. Oh my! I just had a little heart attack there because of how much that was shaking. Okay, we're fine, we're fine. We've got tons of candles beneath, so we're all good there. So that's level 1 Essence Harvester, but let's go ahead and crank that all the way up to 5 before trying it out. Just while I'm remembering now as well, folks, one other major advantage of the swollen taints from Bongotezz's farm is that they're actually very stable in your inventory. Things that the, what were they called? The other ones? The tendrils and the tainted goos? Those things are not very stable. They do have the similar amount of Essentia inside, but they are not stable things to hold in your inventory. They will degrade if you're holding them too long. Swollen taints, however, do not degrade. Another huge boon about them. Safe to handle, easy to get, and they hit very quickly. Man, that's probably going to get nerfed. It's probably going to get nerfed now, but so be it. Stock up a Wheatium while you can, guys. So that is Essence Harvester 2 here. I'm probably just going to go ahead and speed up the rest of the video here because I don't really have much more to say, and we're going to take this all the way to 5. Welcome back, folks. Just while this last infusion here is happening, I hope things are going to be nice and stable. Just a minor building update. We've got a new bridge over here that you might have already spotted. I did a live stream semi-recently where I got on and built this thing. Let's just take a quick little tour of it. It's kind of got this ruin feel to it, which is kind of nice. Ignore the bed, I just slept there in the last night. Yeah, pretty cool. I'm kind of happy with it. It sticks out a little bit right now, but hopefully it'll blend in eventually. And let's see, how's this doing? This is doing okay. Yes, it's drawing in the last of that Essentia. Bish bash bosh. Job done. So hopefully this didn't actually pick up too much warping here. Every time that you do one of these infusions to add more of these enchantments, it has a chance to pick up a little bit more warping. It only got warping 1, so that is pretty nice. So now we've got Essence Harvester 5, Collector, Arcing 4, Looting 3, Sharpness 5, Repair 2. This is a super sword. This is not, however, our end game sword here, unfortunately. There's actually a minor spoiler here. There is a tier past of the elemental tools here, but this is going to last us basically until then, which is really awesome. How are we doing for time? It's almost night time. I think we might just do a minor little cut here, and we'll come back when it's night time to try out Essence Harvester. The sun is setting upon the Thaumcraftian world, and I realised that it's been a while since we actually read up on what Essence Harvester actually does, so let's just quickly recap here. When you kill a creature with the weapon enchanted with this, it has a chance of dropping some of its essence in crystal form. Increasing the rank of this enchantment increases the chance of crystals dropping, and may also increase the number dropped. So you can get that all the way up to 5 as we did, and it only goes on a weapon here, and it takes a ludicrous amount of Wheatium as well as the crystallized essence, meaning that you're going to need the Essentia Crystallizer to get that first of all, but hopefully this is going to net us some free Essentia here. Basically, looks like the first of the bad guys are spawning in. Mr. Endermender! Not doing any mending around here. Oh, I did turn off the sounds there for the hostile mobs. Let's turn those back on, because I was in the nether. The ghasts drive me crazy. So it looks like they do drop some stuff. Alieni, some mod tools. Nice. So we'll be able to just burn that down directly and get whatever Essentia that it is, which is really cool. Many guys around here. Another mender. Yeah. There we go. More. So not quite the same as last time. Oh, we did get some iron that time around. They must have iron inside them, I guess. Alright, let's get rid of you. They just automatically flies into your inventory, so you can't really look at it too much, but the collector ability is super useful when you're fighting the mobs now. There we go, that's this guy. Man, already we've just gotten a bunch of crystallized essence. Now my inventory is going to fill up even faster than it did before. That's another small downside. Yeah, because these are the bad guys, we are getting some of the more interesting aspects here. Exanimes. One of my personal favorites. I love the not the texture, the what's the word, the symbol, the logo, the diagram, the sprite, whatever the word is. Love the picture for that. Ow! Get rid of that guy. And I think just before we finish the episode off here, there's one little thing that I'd like to do here. Let's just get rid of this baby so we can talk. Yep. Man, you got like full chain there. Didn't drop it though. So I want to do a little section at the end of every episode here where I take a look at a new type of foci. So I've got Earthshock here this time for this episode here. We've got a Potency for Earthshock. We're going to compare this with our Chain Lightning focus. Well, we've already seen the Chain Lightning, but let's take a look at what Earthshock does for those who don't remember. Instead of doing a bolt of lightning, Earthshock will now lob a ball of electricity onto the ground, so if we get that skeleton to stand on there, he's going to start taking some electricity damage from standing on electrified area. If we can get him to stand there, there we go. And so there's two abilities that you can get on this thing now. Let's see, let's get this back up. You can have Potency or Earthshock, and basically after the third level where you get Earthshock, it adds a new thingy called Enlarge, and the way that I expect Enlarge to work with this is that it basically just increases... Ow! You've got to be careful. It increases the area that gets electrified, I'm assuming. And what Potency does, I believe, is basically the way that it had explained it in the Focal Manipulator is that it makes the electricity last longer. It's actually still got light right there, yeah. So it's still electrified. It lasts a very long time, and if I had to choose between a slightly wider area and it lasting longer, I would go with it lasting longer, personally. Up to you, though. You can use your foci however you want, but yeah, that is Earthshock. It's going to be pretty useful in tight quarters, but otherwise here, as you can see in these open areas, you kind of have to herd the mobs over it to actually make it useful. But in very close quarters, like in a cave or a mob spawner or some kind of other area, this is going to be really, really useful. But yeah, that is going to be it for this episode of Thaumcraft 5 for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. We've got ourselves a super sword now. This is going to be so cool to use in the future. Thank you very much for watching. Kia kaha, and I'll see you next time.